It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. I'm your host, Jake Schaff, going over all of the biggest news and events from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. West Bloomfield's own Matthew Williams II brought hometown pride to the big stage at such a young age, earning an impressive third-place finish at the Major League Baseball pitch, hit, and run competition held during the World Series in Toronto, Ontario. Competing among some of the top young athletes from across the nation, Matthew's skill, dedication, and sportsmanship shone through, and his outstanding performance is a true reflection of hard work and community spirit. Big congratulations, Matthew, on making West Bloomfield proud, and you can take a look at the photos if you're watching on Civic Center TV, if you're watching on civiccentertv.com, or you can visit the West Bloomfield School District Facebook page to see all the photos yourself and to congratulate Matthew on all of his hard work. Halloween is just a few short days away, and spooky season has been in full swing all across Greater West Bloomfield. It all started back during the beginning of October when a beloved pumpkin patch and Halloween party made its annual return to Sylvan Lake. I visited the Jan Hayes Pumpkin Patch to hear how this event celebrates the start of the Halloween season.
Yeah, it's the kickoff to our fall celebration, our fall harvest celebration. It's absolutely, I love it. I love this neighborhood. I love the fellowship and the camaraderie and the love we have for each other. And it's a wonderful time of year. We celebrate fall. And being from Michigan, we have 4 beautiful seasons, and this is just one more celebration.
Oh, we've been coming here for years now. This is like our annual family fall event of the year. I think it just builds that sense of community, and you bump into your neighbors, and it just kind of brings everyone together from Sylvan to Waterford to West Bloomfield.
It is just incredible. Everybody showed out to help this morning. The pumpkins arrived at 7 a.m. We had many volunteers who were residents who come out year after year to help us. Could not do it without them. But to just see everybody here, we are expecting over 500 people this year, and it's a beautiful day. Every year we're blessed with a beautiful day, so we do it earlier in the month than later. But it means a great deal to me to see all the support from my Sylvan Lake neighbors.
It's an honor. It truly is an honor. We're here. We have 4 generations here today. Our great-granddaughter is here with my granddaughter and my daughter. They came in from Chicago for this, and our daughter lives 4 doors down, and that's so typical Sylvan.
What do you see this event meaning for families in general, just having such a blast out here in Sylvan Lake year after year for the fall season?
Well, there's no question about it. It's a great family event. You get all these kids being dressed, a lot of them are being dressed up in the perfect weather, and everybody's enjoying it. And I'll tell you, she's done a great job having this for about 18 years, and this one is really...
This is over the top.
Over the top.
You know what's really cute this year is the kids started dressing up in costumes to come, and that just kind of added a whole new flavor. And it's something that even us as great-grandparents look forward to coming to see the kids and enjoy the neighborhood.
Why, do you think we should go ahead and get costumes next year for ourselves?
Oh, God, we'll scare everybody.
What do you hope families take away from being here today and taking with them to celebrate throughout the remainder of fall?
Just beautiful memories. Take pictures. You know, your kids are only young for so long, right? The kids are only toddlers, or, you know, they're young for just a blink of an eye. And before you know it, they're off to college. You're an empty nester again, like Jackie and I. So treasure every moment with your kids while they're young. Celebrate these moments. Take pictures, and just every day's a gift.
I hope that people just continue to enjoy themselves and stay a community. I think it brings the community together, and I think that's what we need right now, people coming together.
That is absolutely right, and that event was so much fun, so much excitement, the costumes, and so many pumpkins. There was something for everybody, and this event truly has made a name for itself all throughout the years. Can't wait to see what's to come next year. With October being National Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, residents from all across Greater West Bloomfield and Oakland County are looking for ways that they can help get as many dogs adopted as possible, whether that means adopting themselves or helping a friend or family member find a pet of their own. Joni Toole, the chief of the Oakland County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, recently joined us on the Splash Live to tell us what we can do to help.
Joni, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having us. I'm actually coming to you from Kitty City. Let's not leave the kitties out of this.
Yeah, definitely. All the traditional pets that we see in our homes are in a similar position to our dogs in the month of October and all throughout the year, looking for loving homes to hopefully be for the remainder of their lives. And that's the key part of this, is not only do we want these pets to get adopted, we want them to go into homes where they're going to be for the remainder of their lives and be in loving and comfortable situations. So as we try to get these dogs and cats and other animals adopted, what sort of homes are the best situations for these animals to get adopted into?
Well, I always say do your research. You got to find the pet that is right for your lifestyle. If you're a couch potato, then you definitely don't want to get like a husky or a terrier. Those are high energy dogs. So you'd want something more maybe like a French bulldog or something to that effect. But you got to really do your research. And I know a lot of us go off of looks, but it's best for you and best for the animal if you do your research and find out what's going to fit into your lifestyle. And of course, cats are a good opportunity as well because they are low maintenance. You can be a couch potato all you want. They'll sit right there with you.
And let's unpack that a little further, doing your research. We hear that often when we talk to animal adoption organizations, whether it's your adoption center and the animal shelter through Oakland County or other nonprofit organizations in the local area. What should that research consist of?
Well, first, you probably want to go by your looks. I know everybody loves, I'll do the Huskies again, because they're gorgeous dogs. They're beautiful dogs. But if you're not an active person or if you're not home a lot, what's going to happen is that dog is going to try to find ways to get out their energy, whether it's chewing on your bed or chewing on your couch or trying to escape and running down the road. So your best place to start is the internet. Maybe pick a breed that looks pleasing to you, and then do a little deep dive on that and see what their personality is. See what it takes for them to have a happy, healthy life. Little terriers, the same thing. They require a lot of energy. They need their brain to be working, and if you're not going to give that to them, then what's going to come out of that is chewed up things, and you're feeling frustrated and they're feeling frustrated. And so we don't want to get to that point. We want to make sure that we match up the best pet for you and your family.
And so as people are doing that research, often, Joni, as you mentioned, they're thinking about all the reasons to consider this breed of dog versus that breed, or whether a dog or a cat or another animal is the right fit for my home. But they should also be considering what could be some of the negatives of bringing an animal into their home that could ultimately bring them to a point where they adopt an animal now, and a few months, a few years later, they're ending up abandoning those animals back to your shelter or another one. So let's break it a little bit into the common reasons why we see these animals then go back into the process to be rehomed later on, and how that should also factor in to that research for potential adoptees.
Well, adopting a pet should never be an impulse. It's something that you really need to think about. And a lot of people, they fall in love with this cute little fuzzy little furry thing, and then they get it home and it goes to the bathroom on the floor, and then you start to get frustrated because you're trying to potty train it. It's not going very well. And then pretty soon when they get a little bit older and they have, they're kind of like teenagers. They're going to talk back to you. They're going to sometimes we see that coming out in aggressive behavior. So people aren't putting in the time or effort to train their pets. And that's an important part of it. These pets want, especially dogs, not cats, but dogs, they want a job to do. They want to please you. They need to have that stimulation. And if you're not going to give that to them, like I said, it's going to come out in negative ways. So you'll really want to take a look at that. And another thing you want to take a look at as well as, plan your pet into your future. If something should happen to you, where would that pet go? You need to make those arrangements before that kind of thing happens. We see that a lot. It's very, very sad. The owner passes away, and then we get a dog because no one in the family can take it and take care of it. And it's so sad. But you really need to start to think about stuff like that. It's not just, let's go get this cute little fuzzy little thing and play with it. But you got to remember that it's a living, breathing thing, and it needs to be taken care of whether you're there or not.
Joni Toole is with us from the Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center. October is National Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, and they are helping to bring those efforts forward to bring dogs in our local area into loving forever homes in Greater West Bloomfield and beyond. Few places you can go for more information. oakgov.com, the Oakland County main website. You scroll over their community tab. On the right side, you'll see a section for pet adoption. All the details you need on cats found, dogs found, the Animal Control Center, the Pet Adoption Center also. We can go through dogs and cats and some of the considerations and resources that you'll need to make this very important decision for you and these animals. You can also find them on social media. Instagram at oak_PAC and on Facebook at oakgov.op. Joni, we want to make the process easy for people when they have gone through all those considerations, and now they want to bring one of these dogs, one of these cats, or other animals from the Oakland County Animal Shelter into their home. How does the animal shelter make this process easier for those looking to adopt?
Well, we want to match the perfect pet up to your family. So if you are a family, bring your family. The animals should meet everyone and see how they react. If you have young kids and you're going to introduce a big, clumsy dog, you might want to think twice about that. Not that the dog is going to intentionally hurt young children, but because they're big and clumsy, they might knock a child over. So we like to have the whole family come in and meet the animal and see if it's going to fit within their needs. Now, a lot of our pets, we don't have a lot of background on. They're mostly stray, but we try to gather as much information when they're here at the shelter to fit them to the perfect home. Sometimes we don't always get it right, and sometimes animals act differently in a shelter situation than they do in a home situation. And the other thing is, when you do bring your pet home, you want to make sure that you are very consistent within the first month or two. That goes for potty training, feeding times. Everything is well coordinated. Just like a child, they like consistency. They get used to that. So that's a very important thing to do there. And then training. They need training. They need to know that you're looking out for them and that you know what's best for them. So a lot of training should go into a new pet as well.
And one of the concerns upon adopting a pet is making sure that not only they're a good fit for your home, but they're coming in healthy as well. How does the Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center help to ensure that these animals that are perhaps having a history of being strays, being abandoned either by their natural pet parents or their previous owners, are coming into their hopefully forever homes fully healthy and ready to join those families?
Well, we have a full vet staff here and a full clinic facility here. The pet that you adopt from us is going to be up to date on their vaccinations. They're going to be up to date on their parasite control, which is fleas and worms and ticks and those things. And then they're also going to be spayed and neutered before they leave the shelter. So we're giving you a great start of a healthy pet. But again, like I said, we don't know a lot of the background of the animals. We can try and figure out medically everything that's going on underneath the surface, but sometimes it's hard to flesh that out in the shelter situation. So you'll want to follow up with a vet as soon as possible, but everything is done before the pet leaves the shelter with you, and you just want to follow up and keep following up with your veterinarian.
Always a good idea. Joni Toole is with us from the Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center. October is National Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, and they are participating over at the Oakland County Animal Shelter. You can participate as well. Consider bringing some of these animals into your home and creating loving environments for them to live out the remainder of their lives. But Joni, some people don't have the right situation at home to be bringing these animals into. Maybe they live in apartments that don't allow dogs or only allow a certain number of pets. They have cats and they love dogs, but they can't have both of them at the same time because it puts them over the limit. Maybe someone in the family is allergic and they can't have them in the home. There are other ways that they can still get involved with the Oakland County Animal Shelter. How can they do that?
Oh, definitely. If you're an animal lover, volunteering at the shelter, we always need volunteers, either to walk the dogs or to come even sit in Kitty City here like I'm doing today. A lot of people will just come in here and read a book. You never know what that human interaction does for that animal. And we also have a lot of enrichment that even if you don't want to touch the animals, you can help us put together enrichment packets like peanut butter and Kongs and those types of things that we give out to the animals here to keep them happy and healthy. So there's lots of ways that you can definitely help the shelter. You can also, if you've got old linens at home, you can donate those. If you want to take it even further and go to our wish list, our Amazon wish list, and donate from there. And then we also do take in monetary donations. And those donations are used to help the animals here at the shelter if they're ill or they're injured. And we just cannot do that surgery or that procedure here at the shelter. We will send them out to local vets, and we use that money to help those animals so they can get better and we can find them a new loving home.
And Joni, lastly, if people have heard all this, maybe have already been making some considerations, and now they want to go forward and start the adoption process, where can they do that? What are those first steps they can take to get in contact with your team and consider some of the animals in the Oakland County Pet Adoption Center?
Well, they can certainly come down to the shelter anytime that we're open. That's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're open late on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're open till 7 p.m. And then we're open on Saturdays from 10 until 4. So, come down, check us out, see what we have here as far as pets. And if you don't find the perfect pet the first time, don't get discouraged because they are always coming through our doors. Our inventory changes daily. So don't just settle on something that you found because you want that pet. Go ahead, take your time. Like I said, our inventory is always changing.
Kittens like Roscoe, dogs like Bow Wowzer, and so many more at the Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center are looking for homes right now. oakgov.com. Scroll over their community section on the right side. You'll see pet adoption to learn even more information and start that process. Joni, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having us.
So many wonderful and adorable pets are just looking for a home. And even as Adopt a Shelter Dog Month is coming to a close, these adoption efforts will be carrying on all throughout the year. So we appreciate Joni for taking the time to talk with us here on The Splash Live. Close to home, a West Bloomfield native has taken his love of barbecue to new levels and has made quite an impact across social media. Walter Johnston has made a name for himself with Michigan Barbecue Addicts, a passion-driven channel dedicated to showcasing the art, creativity, and community behind great barbecue. amassing almost 600,000 followers on TikTok with his delicious creations and his fun Roll for Barbecue series, which has even garnered the attention of Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who will be appearing on his series in just a short while. So be on the lookout for that across social media. Walter recently joined us on the Splash Live to tell us about his success and where his love of barbecue comes from. Walter, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's good to see you at the barbecue.
Absolutely. I'm really excited for this because I am a fan of your channel. I've been watching it for quite a while, and it is incredible to see what you've been able to accomplish at the barbecue. So I got to start from the beginning. How did your passion for barbecue first take shape?
Well, honestly, it all started when I was a kid. I watched my dad grill when I was a kid, and it was love my dad to death, but you know he did his best. Let's just say it that way. But he cooked for all of us. If one of us wanted burgers, one of us wanted brats, stuff like that, he would do his best with it. Then, long story short, a nasty divorce happened, and the barbecue stopped. And then I was a firefighter prior to this. Been retired for about almost 11 years now. And one of my old firefighting buddies said, "Hey, let's go get something to eat." And so we tried some brisket, and I'm like, this is really good. I'm like, okay, let's see what we can work with this. The minute I tried that, I wanted to get my own smoker. I found the cheapest one I could find on Amazon, and I started doing stuff. You know, a lot of successes, tons of failures, but you know, we're perfecting the art every single day.
That's right.
Now my dad watches me barbecue, and it's pretty funny now.
I'd imagine so, but hey, practice makes perfect. And as I was saying, you've taken this love of barbecue to a great new level. What inspired you to start Michigan Barbecue Addicts?
So honestly, we were making a good recipe online. I was taking photos of it. I found some of those Facebook groups like Meat Church Congregation, stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I'm really proud of this. And I wanted to post my picture and see what people thought, you know, because everybody wants to get that validation online. And let's just say this, no barbecue jokes intended, but I got roasted really, really bad. People were telling me like really, really mean things, super judgmental, not even in like engaging. And I got really upset. I took that personally. And then my wife, she looked at me and she's like, look, take this down. Let's think about this, you know, and she really changed my perspective. And we turned this into, how can we make a cooking channel that is formed on judgment-free cooking? And that's how the Michigan Barbecue Addicts was developed. We are founded on judgment-free cooking for anybody that wants to learn. I'm not a pro by any means. I'm just a fat guy that knows how to cook in the backyard. That's the biggest thing. And that's how we got started. People love the judgment-free factor, and we've been doing pretty good ever since.
I mean, you seem to be very, very skilled. I mean, we're showing some of your videos on the screen right now. If you're watching on Civic Center TV, you certainly know what you're doing. And it's great that you're showcasing all of these skills to so many other people. Now, I want to talk about your Roll for Barbecue series. It's such a creative concept. Talk about what it is and how did that idea to mix dice rolls and cooking challenges, how did that come about?
So I'll start off by saying this. I'm a nerd, right? I have no shame in my game. I will say that all the live long day. And honestly, I was scrolling on TikTok one day and I found Roll for Sandwich, Adventures in Artie. And I was like, that's an interesting concept. You know, roll the dice and you can make a sandwich just based on pure chance. Then I've scrolled again. I see somebody does Roll for Pizza. And then I saw Roll for Sushi. And I'm like, we could probably do this at barbecue. So I bought myself a cheap dice tower on Amazon, 2 sets of dice, and I decided, I was like, you know, let's see if we can put a barbecue spin on it. We did. The first episode, I got, again, roasted again. People were like, that's a ripoff, you're doing this all wrong. And then we did it on our own the second time, and everybody absolutely loved it. Ironically, it was right around the time I lost my job at the time, and of course, I'm depressed. I was like, what am I going to do? So we ended up like pushing all of our attention on that, and that's how we grew big on TikTok. Like we did a couple sponsored channels, stuff like that, and it just blew up from there.
That's right. And I mean, as you're saying, all of these other great channels have served as inspiration. I should mention, Roll for Sandwich, also a Michigan native. So all the good ideas are coming from this state. I just want to point that out. But obviously, when it comes to using these dice, obviously, I'm assuming some of the results are probably better than others. What would you say have been some of your favorite or maybe your most unexpected results so far from the dice rolls? Like one of your best, one of your worst?
So I can tell you my most recent, honestly. So
Sure.
one of the most recent ones that I can tell you was one of the best ones I had recently. Previously, it was a burn-end baked potato. It was a burn-end twice baked potato with like a blueberry barbecue sauce. Really great. But recently, we discovered pumpkin spice turkey breast, which I'm basic. Trust me, I'm very basic when it comes to, fall and stuff like that. So it worked out really good. I mean, it was the flavor dynamics behind the pumpkin spice and the turkey just really, it was so comforting. It was just hit you right in the heart. It was so good. Now, some of the bad stuff, I will say, is the stuff that I've had to drink. Like
no.
we did. So Roll for Barbecue around Halloween, my wife and I, it's no surprise here, but we are big spooky people around Halloween. And we have a character on our channel called Mayhem, and he adds either a really great flair to your meal or something that's super cursed and is going to possibly ruin it, right? So one of the ones that we had last year, I was making chicken wings, and he had us blend our chicken wings into apple cider with Worcestershire sauce, and we had to drink it. And commitment to the bit, yes, I drank the whole thing. Did it stay in my system? No, it did not.
I give you props for that, for committing to the bit. I mean, I don't think I would ever want to drink my chicken wings, but so my hat is off to you, sir. And I also want to point out, it is nice that even when maybe the dice rolls don't always go the way that you want it to go, you always offer a little bit of help at the end to say, how can you fix it?
You did it right. We want to be able to fix our meals here because, I mean, honestly, the stuff that I'm making, it's either going to be really good, really bad, or just in between. We want to take it to that next level. So if you want to recreate this at home, you can. I mean, if you're crazy enough to recreate some of the stuff we do at home, go for it. So we want to make it better for you so you can give yourself a different idea of how you want to cook.
There's definitely ones I've got in mind to maybe try myself. Just need to up my cooking skills just a little bit. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with the founder of Michigan Barbecue Addicts, West Bloomfield resident Walter Johnston, who has amassed an incredible following on TikTok with almost 600,000 followers, all learning his barbecue magic. Now, I do want to highlight something because you always highlight Michigan barbecue. How does Michigan's local barbecue scene influence your cooking style and the type of content that you create?
Honestly, I mean, I get this question a lot. We get people say, well, Texas barbecue, it's all about salt and pepper, and Kansas City has this, and Memphis has this. Michigan barbecue, to me, is, look, we have cookouts. We like going and closing down an entire block, and everybody gets together, and we just have a good old-fashioned cookout. That's Michigan barbecue right there. Now, how we've incorporated the Michigan twist onto everything, we got our classics. We got Faygo. We have our Vernors. We have our Conies, We have different things that really make Michigan pop, Kogels. All of those big brands, how can we incorporate those into our barbecue really adds that Michigan flair. Plus, we like to keep things humble here. We want to make sure that everybody's welcome at our barbecue. As long as there's no hate, no, nothing like that. Everybody's welcome here.
What are your plans in the future, possibly expanding beyond social media?
So ultimately, my biggest goal, I mean, I would love to have first I got to get myself a truck and a pole behind a smoker. And I want to be able to, drive anywhere I can and make barbecue, do catered events, stuff like that. That's the idea. We want to be able to spread the Michigan barbecue love across the board. For people who haven't heard of us or haven't been on TikTok, you're not on TikTok, that's fine. We like to try to grow ourselves on social media. So by the time we get to the point where we can, have the funding to do a food truck or something like that, people already know who we are. People already know what our game is and then how we're going to operate.
Well, I can't wait to see it, and I assure you, I will be first in line. I've seen all of your cooking. I want to try it for myself. Now, Walter, a couple more questions before we wrap things up. Where can people go to find you on social media, on TikTok, on all the other places to catch your content in person?
Absolutely. So we operate on a multitude of different social media platforms: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Those are our main four. But I mean, we're starting to grow everywhere else. We're trying to get onto, Lemonade, Blue Sky, stuff like that. But if you want to find us mainly, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. If you want to catch us, if you don't remember that, no problem. Go to MichiganBBQAddicts.com. That takes us right to our store where you can get some amazing merch like Never Trust a Skinny Chef, any of our hats, stuff like that. But there's also a link in there. You can check us out, and that'll take us right to all of our social media links.
Michigan BBQ Addicts, that's where you can find all the magic. All right, Walter, last question before we wrap things up, and I think this might be the most important question of all. It's a little tricky. Out of all of the pieces of barbecue you could possibly make, pork, chicken, ribs, brisket, what's your favorite?
Hands down, it's got to be Snake River Farms Black Grade Wagyu brisket.
Wow.
We got one sent to us a couple years ago, and I'm still drooling over it right now. Like you mentioned Snake River Farms Black Grade Wagyu brisket, and I need to do some housekeeping here, but it was the most tender, juicy, beefy, delicious. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. It just melted in your mouth. You were like, where'd the food go? It's so good.
I might need to try that for myself. Once again, Michigan Barbecue Addicts, all across social media to catch barbecue tips and roll for barbecue. Can't wait to see what's to come. Walter, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate y'all. And of course, we'll see you guys at the next barbecue.
I hope to be there soon. All sorts of great, delicious dishes available from Michigan Barbecue Addicts all throughout social media, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, you name it, it's there. Big thank you to Walter for joining us on the Splash Live. In just a few short weeks, a beloved mother-son dance will be returning to West Bloomfield. The event is called High Tops and High Heels, and it is scheduled for November 21st from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Glen Oaks Golf Course, all put together by West Bloomfield Parks. A fun event where mothers and mother figures together with their sons and or male figures all come together for a snazzy night out that everyone is going to enjoy, complete with dancing, great food, and such a wonderful time. Sure to be plenty of fun, and here to tell us more is the recreation programmer for West Bloomfield Parks, Crystal Smith. Crystal, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, great to have you with us. Always love talking about these wonderful events for the greater West Bloomfield community. How do you hope this event will bring mothers and their sons together in such a meaningful way?
Well, why this event is so special is it gives mothers and sons the unique chance to dress up and share quality time together, whether they're in their high tops or high heels or both. It's one of our most popular community traditions, celebrating family fun and togetherness. This event is especially important for strengthening a parent-child bond. I feel like events like this give mothers and their sons dedicated time together, away from screens, schedules, and distractions, simply to have fun and connect one-on-one. And it also gives each family a chance to celebrate community as well as promote social confidence. So younger boys attending a dance helps them learn social skills like respect, kindness, and inclusion in a comfortable and family-friendly setting.
That's right. All important quality time and family time to be spending with the person you love the most. And not only that, but this event is scheduled for late November, which of course is right around the holidays. How does this timing tie into the holiday season and family traditions?
You know, it's scheduled for Friday, November 21st, so right before Thanksgiving. So just a special opportunity for the holiday planning to maybe take a pause and have mothers and sons come together and have some fun together, create new traditions. And there's going to be so much fun things to do at this dance, like having a temporary tattoo station, balloon artist from tip-top entertainment, chances to take photographs and capture all the memories. And I think it ties into the holiday spirit in the sense that we're spending time together, but we're also not stressing about a large meal that we have to cook or who's going to invite the relatives over. So it's something special that moms and sons can look forward to. They'll be able to enjoy a dinner buffet stocked full of delicious food like herb-baked chicken, chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, potatoes, salad bar, and delicious dessert options too.
You are really painting a picture. And I was at the event last year, so I saw all of the fun that all of these families had during this event. I'm sure it's going to be a very similar environment this year. What kind of atmosphere are you aiming for during this evening?
The atmosphere I'm aiming for all of our families in attendance is that they just get to enjoy a night out with each other, let loose on the dance floor. We'll have Super DJ Dave on the dance floor with interactive games and activities. So he'll keep those boys busy dancing and running around all night. And hopefully at the end, they'll be tuckered out and have some good sleep and moms can relax. And also I'm really looking forward to seeing, the mom friends come together and enjoy the night out with their boys as well.
That's absolutely right. And there's also going to be professional portraits and photography memories all throughout the evening. How important are those aspects to an event like this, would you say?
Well, we offer both. We have the free selfie station to capture those candid moments, and then we do have professional portraits available from TSS Photography. Those will be on sale for an additional fee, and they'll be printed right on site for you to take that special photo home. I think it's important to capture those memories because you want to remember how you got your son dressed up so cute in his suit and tie, and how wonderful the mother looks in her beautiful dress or gown, and just the specialness. It's so special to see them dressed up and dancing and laughing and enjoying a meal together, as well as spending time with other community members that are there for the same reason.
You're absolutely right. And I mean, these kids, they're not going to be little kids forever. They're going to grow up before you know it. So these photos are going to be a wonderful memento to look back on in the years to come as you remember how much fun you had during an event like this. And when it comes to high tops and high heels, in what ways does this event help connect the community during the holiday season? And that, I mean, residents from across the region, residents, non-residents, everybody.
Well, events like this just bring people together. Families might come together, or families might come separately, and they might meet some new friends. It's always our hope that the young boys find some friends on the dance floor to pal around with at the dance, and then that encourages the moms to meet some new friends as well. So we're always hoping that our WB Parks events can bring people together and celebrate these traditions together year after year. It's just so important for our community to not only be entertained by our events, but also to have something to take away, like a photo or a new friend's phone number or a delicious meal that they didn't have to worry about preparing for their family that evening.
It absolutely is important. And the fact that the community comes out for events like this year after year, that tells me that you are doing something right. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with West Bloomfield Park's recreation programmer, Crystal Smith, who's talking about the high tops and high heels mother-son dance that's going to be taking place on November 21st from 6 to 8:30 at Glen Oaks Golf Course. Now, Crystal, what would you most like to see in terms of participation or experience with this event? What are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the different age ranges that attend this event. So we've had mothers and sons as young as 2 to 6, and then we've had some of the older sons, the teenage boys, and even older than that. So it's just so special that these moms are keeping their traditions going with their boys. And it's just wonderful to see the confidence that comes from these boys, the different attitudes that they have when they're dressed up versus in their regular school clothes. they just feel special, and you feel that specialness in the whole environment of the Glen Oaks Golf Course ballroom, if you will. And it's so special to see them dancing and running and interacting with Super DJ Dave, because he really gets the crowd hyped up and alive, and that's what I look most forward to.
That's what everybody looks forward to, and everyone is going to have such a blast at this event on November 21st. Now, this event has been going on for quite a few years now. How do you hope to see this event continuing to evolve and grow in the years to come, would you say?
In the years to come, venues may change, buffet styles may change. We're hoping to grow registration in the future. We're hoping to add in some new themes, but for now we're keeping it simple with just a mother-son dance at high tops, high heels with WB Parks. But in the future, I'm hoping to grow registration, experience at our new Community Connect Center here in West Bloomfield, fingers crossed down the line, and hopefully allow for more attendance in the future. And, some of our returning families inviting some of their new friends to join us as well.
That's absolutely right. We want to see as many people out at this event as possible. Got a couple more questions, Crystal, before we wrap things up. Out of everything that takes place with this event, what do you hope families take away the most? Whether that be memories, bonding, new traditions, anything.
All the three things that you've just named, I hope that they take those away. I hope that they also get to experience some fun giveaways from our event sponsor, Goldfish Swim School. They're always there to hand out their little fishies and encourage safe swimming lessons, as well as, build community with some of our event staff here at WB Parks. It's wonderful that they're aware of these events, and it's even more special when they want to know more about what WB Parks is doing. So this is a great stepping stone, if you will, to get folks involved in more of our events that aren't just family related. So we have all sorts of special events, nature events, senior events, and diversity inclusion events as well.
That's absolutely right. I'm sure you guys got plenty of fun events as we move on from fall and start to get ready for winter. Crystal, where can people go to learn a little bit more information about this event and about everything that West Bloomfield Parks has in store going forward?
You can visit us right at wbparks.org by clicking on the events tab. You can view our calendar of events there, as well as our Facebook page and Instagram page. We always share fun photos of our events, so make sure you check out our latest Trick or Treat Trail post. And then I did just want to finally comment that space is limited for our dance, so register early. The deadline is November 16th, and I hope everyone comes ready to dance, laugh, and make memories that will last them a lifetime.
November 16th is the deadline. Want to see as many families out at this event as possible. Crystal, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you.
Hope you have a wonderful day. Once again, November 21st from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Glen Oaks Golf Course. That is the date and time for the High Tops and High Heels event. Can't wait to see so many families out there celebrating this incredible event with the person they love the most. School bus safety is more important than ever right now. With buses on their morning routes picking up kids from school, it's important that drivers don't interfere with that process and make sure everyone gets to where they need to go safely. James Dennis of the Keego Harbor Police Department recently joined us on the Splash Live to give us some insight on what residents can do on the road.
Officer Dennis, thanks for being on the show today.
Morning, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not bad.
Good to have you on to talk about this. This has been a growing concern. It sort of caught a little bit of fire on local social media in Keego Harbor about particularly motorists during the morning and afternoon rush not paying attention or straight up ignoring buses that are stopped on Orchard Lake Road, dropping our kids off from their local school or picking them up for the school day. And so as this became a rising concern, how has the Keego Harbor Police Department stepped in to help mitigate this issue, not only to inform motorists of what they're responsible for when school buses are nearby, but most importantly, to keep those bus stops safe for our local kids and families?
There's a difference between just hiding out and giving people tickets for it and actually being seen. So we try and be as visible as possible as we can with a patrol car on top of the bus. A lot of times we find during rush hour, people are rushing to work. So it's normally not just they're passing the school bus, they're also speeding and there's other infractions on top of it. So we're just out there enforcing it as much as we can.
In the regular enforcement, too, you usually will have officers nearby our local schools. That was definitely the case previously each and every day when Roosevelt Elementary School was active in the city of Keego Harbor. It was not atypical to see even a squad car parked in the middle of the street there in the turn lane with their lights on, just to raise that awareness that maybe it's time to slow down, pay better attention to the rules of the road. So when there are issues like this that arise, and parents do have concerns about the safety of their kids because motorists are blowing by stopped buses with their stop signs on, how does that then change the paradigm for the local police like yours in Keego Harbor for maybe increasing that patrol?
So Keego, we're pretty small. Normally we have one officer on duty. So what we try and do is mitigate and hit the bus stops. We've teamed up with West Bloomfield School District. Sylvan Lake is also assisting us on this. And the main problem areas like on Orchard Lake Road and Maddie Lane, where you have oncoming traffic that doesn't see, we tend to hit that every bus stop. If we can. If there's a call that comes out that's priority, obviously we have to answer that. But I tend to look at this like there is, property crime and things like that, but kids are not replaceable. So if we can be there, we're going to be there always.
And it's kind of an oddity, too, in our local area, not just in Keego, but in the rest of the Tri-Cities and in West Bloomfield, that we have a bus stop right in the heart of a main thoroughfare during those rush hour times in the morning and the evening on Orchard Lake Road, two lanes going in one direction, one in the other, typically at any point of the day. That's got to add some factor into this. Maybe motorists don't understand the rules of the road when it comes to buses fully stopped, even on a main thoroughfare like that, if they're on one of the far lanes on the right side. So even if they are all the way over on the right side, they're parked in front of maybe the Lodge or other places on Orchard Lake Road going through Keego Harbor, and they have their stop lights on. What should motorists be aware of when they see those lights come up and to understand that, A, they need to help make sure these kids are safe, but also that they're not going to put themselves in a position to pick up a pretty significant violation on the road?
Yeah. From what we've seen, there's maybe a lack of communication, but you have to stop even on oncoming. And the normal excuse from what I get is people saying that on a main road like that, they didn't realize they had to stop when they're on oncoming. I've even heard it's a divided street southbound on Cass in the neighborhood because it's divided by grass in the middle. People in oncoming think that they don't have to stop, and that's just not the case. A lot of times too, in fact, in the last two that we stopped, the drivers didn't have licenses. So it's kind of hard to know the laws of the road when you don't have a license.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. And there's other factors too that play into even the patrol and the enforcement of these bus stop areas when there's so much traffic on Orchard Lake Road. What are some of the common issues that maybe make it a little bit difficult to enforce, particularly when it comes to ticketing these individuals and tracking them down? If someone does see somebody blowing by, even if it's one of your officers, what sort of challenges arise in identifying and stopping drivers who do illegally pass these buses at any point in our day?
Normally, if we're there, we're going to stop them. We're monitoring it. If we see them, we stop them. If we are on a call or something like that, I know West Bloomfield, I've been told by the bus drivers that West Bloomfield, some of the buses have cameras on them, and a West Bloomfield officer in West Bloomfield will actually write a ticket for the bus stop violation. That's not something we've grouped up with West Bloomfield School District because there's only certain buses that have the cameras, and you have a conflict of the bus driver trying to identify the actual driver of the vehicle and things like that. So the best thing we can do is just continue to be proactive, and there's 6 bus stops total off of Maddie Lane and Orchard Lake Road, which is really the problem spot. And we try and literally be there every single time. I was there this morning. They had late start, 2 hours late. I'm literally missing a stop right now, and my detective is out there.
And so, Officer Dennis, we want to get you back out there as soon as possible, so we'll only take a couple more minutes of your time. But as you have these issues arise, and especially given the place that this is in Keagle Harbor, where this bus stop is, has there been any discussion with the West Bloomfield School District or other nearby districts that may have stops in similar situations nearby that affect our local kids of maybe moving those stops to other locations?
My knowledge, at least for the one that's in our city, the Orchard Lake and Maddie Lane, there's not really anywhere you can move it because most of the children come off of southbound Maddie Lane at Orchard. It's a dead-end street. The bus doesn't have the room to turn around down there, which is why it stops on Orchard Lake. The next stop would be way far up the road, or we'd have kids crossing the street on Orchard Lake, which is an even bigger problem. So, I mean, at this point in time, us and Sylvan have been attacking it pretty hard at that spot. And then I actually just met up with a deputy from Oakland County Sheriff's Office today that's part of their traffic unit, and he was even helping us today.
And so drivers need to be aware of these rules. Hopefully this will help to raise some of that awareness, and they just need to ultimately be more careful, especially when they see those school buses around, assume that kids are going to be getting off of those buses, and even, as you just said, crossing that street. But for those that decide not to play along with the rules and make these violations, obviously they're already in process of being caught quite significantly in the city of Keagle Harbor in recent weeks. But for those that aren't aware, just how serious of a violation is it if you pass a school bus when it is at a stop?
It is going to be a $500 fine. It's a lot, and 3 points.
Yeah.
And we're strict on this. When it comes to the kids in our city, we're not playing games on tickets. Other things you can write warnings on, speed, stuff like that. But whatever we got to do to protect these kids out here, and if that's writing big tickets, that's writing big tickets. We have no problem doing that if they're going to disobey the stop signs on the bus.
In a small town like Keagle, small towns like Keagle, Sylvan, even Orchard Lake, those Tri-Cities, really going to have to go out of your way to get yourself a traffic violation. That about the worst way possible you can do so. Officer Dennis, before we let you go, anything else that the community should be aware of on this matter, or lasting messages from the Keagle Harbor Police Department to the greater community about this particular area of Orchard Lake Road?
Just be safe, drive safe, be vigilant. I know early in the morning it's easier to see the bus when it's still dark out because of the flashing lights on the bus and everything else. It's the later hours of the day, people rushing in at 8:30, that we have a big problem. Just know we're out there, we're enforcing it, and if we stop you, you're getting a ticket.
And it's good information to keep in mind, too, as we approach daylight saving time, and those days are going to get darker and darker later on when kids are going to be getting to those bus stops. Officer Dennis, thank you for your time and insight today.
Thank you.
There's always something to look for when you are driving, and we really appreciate Officer Dennis for taking the time to talk with us on the Splash Live about this important issue. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and tomorrow, On-Site Women's Health and Menopause Center is putting together an evening time breast health event for the greater West Bloomfield community. Mammograms by Moonlight will be taking place on October 29th from 5 to 7 p.m., encouraging attendees to take charge of their health in the community with both clinical services and education. Angela Mulvin of the Women's Health and Menopause Center recently joined us on the Splash Live to tell us all about it.
Angela, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Happy to have you on to talk about this. Your event, Mammograms by Moonlight, is coming up, but really the purpose behind it is to encourage women to get that advanced screening that can quite literally be life-saving. So how does offering screenings after typical clinical hours, as you would do with something like Mammograms by Moonlight or through other programs with your organization, how does that help to bridge some of the gaps in healthcare that often can lead women to either not get the detection that they need, the testing that they need to detect breast cancer, and or to get them in and treated as early as possible?
Yeah, so absolutely. We love to do these events in the evenings and on Saturdays. It helps increase access and awareness, and it removes kind of some of the daily barriers that women might face during those daily hours with other obligations. So we like to provide several avenues of access to get all women screened yearly for breast cancer.
And that's an important part of this too, because the concept behind mammograms by moonlight is to not only raise information in the community about breast cancer awareness, particularly for the women in our lives and for women themselves, but to get them in for this sort of treatment. And also, there's some different kinds of mammograms and different kinds of treatments that can also help to advance some of that early detection as well. One of those that we want to talk about is called ABUS, or automated breast ultrasound. How does that differ from the standard mammogram, and who might that be beneficial for in particular?
Yeah, so whole breast ultrasound is for patients who have high risk and have dense breast. So it's painless, it's easy for patients, it's an additional screening tool opposed to the mammogram. So we like to offer that if they have a negative mammogram as kind of a security blanket, I like to call it. If you have dense breast, it might pick up a breast cancer that mammogram might typically miss. It's an amazing tool in addition to mammogram that we can offer.
So Mammograms by Moonlight offers limited spots, 8 mammogram screenings, 4 automated breast ultrasound screenings. So registering early for the event is definitely encouraged. This one coming up October 29th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And so Angela, the concept behind this, the meaning behind it is to get people in for early screening, but the concept behind Mammograms by Moonlight, what inspired that and ultimately led to events like we're going to see on October 29th?
Yeah, it's just inspired because we want to reach every woman possible. We want to make it accessible. Having evening hours kind of takes away, it's a little more like low key. We like to, have some fun activities. We like to just have it be not so crazy and busy like day hours are. It's more compassionate, it's more relaxed, and for anybody who's anxious, it's just a little bit more of a light atmosphere to come in the evening time. So that's kind of why we say, Mammograms by Moonlight.
This isn't the first of these to happen here in West Bloomfield or in the greater West Bloomfield area. So you've been able to get some of that feedback, too, from women who have gone through these screenings from the Mammograms by Moonlight program and been able to maybe detect some issues or at the very least have that peace of mind. So generally, what's been the feedback from those that have participated, both those who have been able to get those screenings and others that have just been able to learn about how important this is in October, of course, but really any time of the year?
Yeah, it's convenience. People like the convenience. Everybody's busy, and a lot of times we put off our things. If we don't have a problem, we put off those annual things that are so important. And with breast cancer, we know that early detection is key. So if we can provide, the feedback we've got from people is, thank you for providing that later hours. I have kids at home. I have things to do during the day. I'm anxious. I like to come when it's a little bit more laid back. So the feedback has been amazing with our evening and we're increasing our Saturdays as well to provide that as well.
And then for those that may get screening and have some abnormality pop up, how does the follow-up occur from the appointment they schedule for Mammograms by Moonlight to further treatment? Because detection's one thing, but the treatment, especially early intervention, can be the difference between your long-term health or undergoing a long battle in some cases with breast cancer.
Yeah, absolutely. So we like to close the loop with all of that. We have amazing communication with our patients. We have a whole team that, make sure that when we get those results back, we follow our procedures. We have a lot of downstream facilities. It's extremely important that we do it efficiently and quickly to get from screening to diagnosis.
More information can be found on WHMCenter.com. That is the Women's Health and Menopause Center's website, WHMCenter.com. Mammograms by Moonlight, October 29th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Again, limited slots are open, 8 for mammograms, 4 for the automated breast ultrasound screenings. So you're going to want to register as soon as you possibly can, WHMCenter.com for more information. In your view, Angela, what is the symbolic importance of Mammograms by Moonlight? Not only just getting the message out, but overall what this means for women's health and the awareness behind some of these issues that particularly affect women more so than men.
It's just the inspiration behind the concept. It's practical, it's symbolic. It's just bringing awareness during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The hype around it. We just want to capture all women that possible for early detection. And that's about that. That's it. It's just the inspiration around it, the concept. It's practical.
And that's really the most important part of this, is getting women to understand that they have these opportunities available to them, inspiring them to go out, and even if they just go to their primary care provider and inquire about screening for breast cancer. That this time of the year, the awareness is being raised not only about the fact that breast cancer is still a problem in our modern healthcare space and is still just as deadly as it was 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago, but that there are advanced screenings that are available, and this provides that ability for people to get screened. Angela, looking ahead, do you hope to expand or replicate mammograms by moonlight even further throughout the local area, or at least have any other plans to continue this concept in the coming months outside of October?
Yes, absolutely. We have a lot of things, we're going to do something in November a little bit differently. We have a lot of things where we have up our sleeve that we're working to meet women where they are, make it as convenient as possible. We have a lot of Saturdays coming up. We have an event that we're hoping to do, mimosas and mammograms. So a lot to come with that, a lot to come.
More information can be found again on WHMcenter.com. You'll be able to register for that event. Super easy to find it. It'll be at their location on West Maple Road here in West Bloomfield. Again, that's WHMcenter.com. You can also call them 248-932-9223. Angela, before we let you go, anything else people should know about mammograms by moonlight or other services that are provided for women's health at the Women's Health and Menopause Center?
Yeah, just absolutely. Get in there, get your screening. This event is going to be amazing. We're doing basket raffles. We have snacks, we have drinks, we have cookies, we have dinner. We just want everyone to come in. We want to remove all those barriers. We want everyone to get screened. We want to save lives.
And you'll be able to register right now on their website at WHMcenter.com. There is a sliding image at the top of their page that will include their Mammograms by Moonlight banner. You click on that, it'll take you to registration. Super easy. Want to get in early. 8 screenings for mammograms and 4 for the ABUS screenings as well. Angela, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
And with that, that's going to do it for us today here on the Splash Live. Big thank you to everybody on the Splash Live team for helping to make this show possible, and for our guests for stopping by. I've been your host, Jake Schaff. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV.